What if I told you China may have just built an engine so efficient it could change the entire auto industry forever? For decades, the world believed the future of cars belonged to a few major players: American muscle, German engineering, Japanese reliability. But now, a shocking new headline is making waves across YouTube and social media. China has unveiled a 120 miles per gallon engine, and US automakers are strangely quiet about it. At first, it sounds impossible. 120 miles per gallon? That's more than double what many hybrid cars achieve today. Some people are calling it the biggest engine breakthrough in decades. Others say it's just another overhyped internet story designed to attract clicks and views. But here's the interesting part. China is already dominating huge parts of the global EV and battery market. Companies like BYD are expanding rapidly, Tesla is feeling the pressure, and traditional automakers are struggling to keep up with the speed of Chinese innovation. So the real question is not whether China is improving automotive technology. The real question is this 120 miles per gallon engine actually real? And if it is, why isn't everyone talking about it? To understand this story, we first need to understand how fuel efficiency actually works. A normal gasoline engine wastes a huge amount of energy through heat, friction, and mechanical loss. Even modern cars are far from perfect when it comes to efficiency. The so-called 120 miles per gallon engine is reportedly linked to advanced hybrid technology rather than a traditional gasoline-only engine. That detail is important because hybrid systems can dramatically reduce fuel consumption by combining electric motors with smaller, highly optimized combustion engines. China has been investing heavily in this exact area. Instead of focusing only on full electric vehicles, many Chinese manufacturers are developing ultra-efficient hybrid systems that can travel long distances while using very little fuel. Some reports suggest the engine uses advanced thermal efficiency techniques, lightweight materials, and AI-controlled power management to maximize every drop of fuel. In theory, this could allow certain vehicles to achieve extremely high MPG numbers under ideal testing conditions. But there's a catch. Lab tests and real-world driving are two very different things. Automakers often advertise fuel economy numbers achieved under controlled environments, not everyday traffic, hills, weather, or aggressive driving. So while 120 miles per gallon sounds revolutionary, the real-world performance could be much lower. Still, even getting close to those numbers would represent a major achievement for the automotive industry. Many people still think of China as a country that copies technology, but that image is rapidly becoming outdated. Today, China leads the world in battery production, EV manufacturing, and supply chain control. The government has invested billions into clean transportation and automotive innovation over the past decade. Companies like BYD, Geely, and NIO are no longer trying to catch up. In many areas, they are now setting the pace. One reason China is advancing so quickly is speed. Chinese companies develop products faster, adapt to market trends quickly, and manufacture at massive scale. While some Western automakers spend years debating strategy, Chinese brands often move directly into production. Another advantage is competition. China's domestic car market is extremely aggressive. Hundreds of brands are fighting for survival, forcing companies to innovate constantly. This pressure creates rapid technological evolution. And while American automakers still dominate in brand recognition and performance vehicles, China is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore, especially in affordable electric and hybrid transportation. That's why stories like the 120 miles per gallon engine attract so much attention. Even if the headline is exaggerated, the bigger trend behind it is very real. China is becoming an automotive superpower. So why do some videos claim American automakers are silent? The truth is probably less dramatic than people think. Major companies like Ford, GM, and Tesla are absolutely paying attention to Chinese innovation. In fact, many industry experts believe China represents the biggest competitive threat to Western automakers in decades. Chinese companies are producing vehicles faster and often cheaper than their rivals. They also benefit from strong battery supply chains and massive domestic demand. For US companies, this creates a difficult challenge. Building highly efficient cars is one thing. Building them cheaply enough for mass adoption is another. American automakers are also heavily invested in trucks, SUVs, and larger vehicles. markets that traditionally prioritize power and size over extreme fuel efficiency. Meanwhile, many Chinese manufacturers focus on compact, efficient, tech-driven transportation. But there's another reason for the silence. Companies rarely react publicly to every new technological claim. Behind closed doors, engineers are constantly analyzing competitors, testing new systems, and preparing future designs. So, no, Detroit is not asleep. But the pressure is growing. Because if China continues improving battery technology, hybrid efficiency, and manufacturing costs at this pace, the global car industry could look very different within the next 10 years. So, is China's 120 miles per gallon engine the future of transportation? Maybe, but probably not in the way YouTube thumbnails suggest. The internet loves dramatic headlines. This engine will destroy Tesla. Gas cars are officially finished. America is panicking. Reality is usually more complicated. The truth is that automotive technology is evolving rapidly everywhere. China is making serious progress, especially in hybrids and EVs. Some of the efficiency numbers being discussed may even be technically possible under specific conditions. But revolutionary technology takes time. A prototype is not the same as mass production. A laboratory test is not the same as real-world driving. And a viral headline is definitely not the same as industry transformation. Still, this story matters for one important reason. It shows how quickly the balance of power in the auto industry is changing. For over a century, the world looked mainly to America, Germany, and Japan for automotive innovation. Now, China wants to lead the next era of transportation. And whether people believe the 120 miles per gallon claim or not, one thing is clear: the competition for the future of cars has officially begun. And whether people believe the 120 miles per gallon claim or not, one thing is clear: the competition for the future of cars has officially begun.